So the grammar point for today is about a 介词 or a preposition, which we like to call a relator because it shows you how one thing in the sentence relates to the other. And this is all about the character 往, which means towards in Chinese. But there's a few ways that we can use it. And as usual, we're going to run through a few example sentences showing you how each use applies in real life. So let's jump into it. So let's have a look at this first example sentence to get an idea of how this 往 works. So this sentence is from level 18 of the Mandarin Blueprint method. You unlock this at that point. And it says 我们往上面走,我们往上面走. So it's we towards the top walk. Now, of course, you can tell that the Chinese word order is very different from English in this case. In fact, in most cases where it's a more complex sentence than subject, verb, object, the word order is completely different. In English, of course, we say, we'll walk towards the top. We sort of almost the opposite, right? So just take care to notice that when you're sort of reviewing your sentences and you want to speak and practice in Chinese. You've got to think in Chinese as well, or in Chinglish. So, we towards the top walk. 我们往上面走. So let's look at another one here. Sentence 2. 我正在往回走. 我正在往回走. So it's saying I am heading back right now. I'm heading back now. So you can say 我正往回走, or you can say 我在往回走. But if you're saying 我正在往回走, it's sort of emphasizing it extra emphasis for it. All right. So I'm heading back now. 我正在, I am in the middle of 往回走,往回. So towards return. Again, it's kind of Chinglish, right? So 我往回走, heading back. And again, that 走, by the way, that 走 doesn't literally have to be 走, like walking. It could also be driving or just heading back, like moving towards that direction, traveling, essentially. Okay, so that's that one. Now let's look at sentence 3. Now this third sentence, we put this in here because it's just nice having a rule of 3. It's just having 3 just feels nice to us. We always just try and aim for 3. But also, this one is incredibly common. If you're in China, you'll be saying this to taxi drivers all the time. It's a little bit more common than I would use it, but I'll explain how I would use it in a minute. So, here we go. 一直往前走吧. And you don't have to have the ba at the end, but it's just sort of a kind of a friendly suggestion as opposed to an order if you prefer to do that. So 一直, so continuously. So 往前走, towards the front or towards ahead, travel. Okay, 一直往前走. So that is a way, that's like a phrase that you don't have to say necessarily 一直. In fact, what I like to say, which is just simpler, just again, guys, if you don't know this already, I'm lazy. I like to just do it the easiest way possible. But this is not necessarily the correct way, it's just the way I prefer. I just say 直走, 直走. So just straight travel, right? Just 直走. It's just because I'm lazy, right? But this way is absolutely fine too. 一直往前走吧, or just 往前走, 往前走. That's fine as well. Okay. So go straight. 往前走, 一直往前走. Now I know I said that we were going to stick with 3 example sentences because we like the number 3, but I forgot there's one other sentence that I wanted to tell you about. And it's not really a sentence, so it doesn't quite count, but it's actually a sign that I've seen. And I remember when I saw the character for 往, I thought of the signs that you find in front of any public bathroom urinal in China, like a shopping mall or wherever, any sort of public urinal. And in front of the urinals, the 便池, which literally means pee sink or pee pond, if you want to be really literal, you see this sign that says something like this: 往前一小步, 文明一大步. So step forward, or sorry, 往前一小步. So to move forward one step, one small step. 文明, civilization, big step. That's the literal thing. So it's move forward, small step, one small step, civilization, one big step. So the actual meaning is it's often translated to kind of like when the Neil Armstrong said that line, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. It's kind of, that's how they translate it, but it's not actually the real translation. What that means is step forward one small step, then you are civilized one big step. So it's 文明 as in civilized, not civilization. Okay, so it's not, but it kind of applies to both, right? Because if everyone just steps forward a little bit and doesn't pee all over themselves on the floor, then the entire civilization of China would be more civilized, I suppose. It would go into So it works both ways, but the literal translation, the actual translation rather, is that. So I just thought I'd mention that. Often they replace the character Wang with Xiang as well, but we can maybe talk about that another time. I just thought I'd throw that in there. So those are sort of those 3 example sentences, and that sign is, I think, enough to get the idea of that specific usage of Wang. Let's have a look at another couple of different usages that are maybe not quite as common. So this shouldn't take long at all. One of the sort of less common usages of Wang is used in conjunction with xia, as in down, or to continue. So it's Wang xia jiang, which means to continue speaking, or 往下读, or 往下看, which means to continue reading. So it's, again, a bit more formal, I suppose, but you'd still use it in everyday speech. It's no big deal. And there's a final usage which is very common, which is only usually seen on signs or in written Chinese. And it goes something like this. 飞往成都的飞机. So it's 飞往, so flying towards Chengdu plane. So a plane flying towards or headed towards Chengdu. So 飞往. And you can use a lot of different verbs in front of Wang in this way. There's another one that is quite common, which is 运往, which is to transport. Let's have a look at this one. It says 运往芝加哥的货物. 货物 is goods, cargo. Okay, so cargo shipped to Chicago. So these ones are like obviously less common, but you will still see them in a lot of written stuff. So just thought I'd mention that. We like to be as 全面 as we can. So there we go. Hey guys, if you like this video and you'd like us to help you reach literacy and fluency in Mandarin Chinese as fast as possible without all the headache of traditional learning methods, just head to mandarinblueprint.com to learn more.